I'm in the midst of packing for a move and I realized that I wouldn't have a new video to post for maybe a few months. And I've had this one actually uploaded on YouTube for quite a while now. And I never really was happy with it enough to really post it. It's kind of no longer up to what I consider my standards. But then I realized one of the big points in this video is about how sometimes you need to just build something. I make a lot of mistakes in this video. The outcome is perfectly functional and I use it. It's a piano stand that is kind of the worst built piano stand you can do, but I felt that it was a little unjustified for me to not upload and share something that I'm not happy with, when one of the big points of this video is just go build it, because you can always make it better later and you don't learn what you mess up until you build it the first time. So I'm putting this video out there. I don't expect it to do very well, but it has to go out because it feels right to the world to let it go out. Anyway, please enjoy the video. All right, so I've got this piano here. I actually got it right before COVID to try and learn piano. I hate the X-style piano stand, so I forever ago built a kind of cheap stand for it, but it ended up being cannibalized for a dishwasher cubby during our kitchen remodel. I have to build a new one, so I've got some really janky plans right here. It's gonna go here because it's summer and we no longer need the fireplace. So it should be super cheap, super quick. This video is a good reminder that not everything you build has to be perfect and beautiful. This piano stand was built in a day using the cheapest lumber for the sole purpose of making it easier for me to learn to play piano. You can always make it better later, and I will. I'll paint this eventually, but for now, it will do its purpose. I just wanted to remind y'all to go out and be creative. Now back to the video. Alright, so power's out. Let's get to making the piano stand. Alright, so one of the key measurements will be making sure my legs can fit under it, as well as I have a comfortable playing position. So it looks like the bottom can't be lower than 27. The key height around 34 inches seems to be the comfortable position for me. So my rough plan is the front side. The front side butts up against this. It's kind of got a nice little lip and it'll sit here. The back plank will be a little bit taller, and so it'll capture it here. And then the sides will, like the front side, go into these channels. The keyboard itself will be fully captured that way, and I don't risk it sliding out if I get too excited while I play. And let's get this critical dimension, side rail to side rail, and that looks to be 49¼ inches, or maybe 125 centimeters. And then the depth will be right around 8½ inches. Since the power's out, gotta use a handsaw. Woo! Now the really easy thing to forget. I want this dimension to end up at 8¾ inches. So I can't just measure 8¾ like I did on the keyboard itself. I have to measure 8¾ plus the thickness of these planks. Ask me how I know to remember that. I almost did something very stupid. I need to put the piece of wood that I'm putting on the inside here on the outside of this plank. I got very close to screwing up and putting a bunch of screw holes everywhere. Okay, I'm happy with that. That was almost terrible. I would have been very sad. All right, let's go see if it fits. All right, this fits near perfect. Very little movement. It fits right onto that channel right there. Nice and snug. Now to design the feet. And one thing I'm noticing is that this angle that it's sitting on is different than the key height. So we'll put the legs on at an angle to account for that. So this will be the mounting angle we need for the legs. Not crazy, just a little over 90 degrees. So I asked my friend, he said his actual piano is at 27 inches to the top. That's a little short for me. So I'm going to do 32, and then we could go from there. Alright, so it already looks pretty good. It's standing on its own. If you notice, the front isn't higher because I'm a dum-dum and made just parallelograms, but I can fix that with the feet. So now all I gotta do is make a few feet, because currently it's pretty unstable. So I'll just make those a little bit longer and it should be perfect. I am actually kind of dumb sometimes, aren't I? Okay, so what we need to do is take this out. I should have kept this side square. That's what I should have done. And let's get this side squared up with the world. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, let's get the keyboard in place. There we go. There's a little bit of a wobble. I'll probably put a plank in the back. All right, let's show you real quick what I messed up. So the keyboard is now flat, and I mistakenly cut the bottom also at the same angle as the top. It was easy enough to account for. Just flatten out with this foot part, and we're good to go. And here's where I'd play if I actually knew how. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's pretty simple. I'll have the cut list in the description if you're interested. You should be able to build this for pretty much any keyboard, even the slightly narrower ones. Now I have no excuse to not learn how to play this piano. Thanks for watching.